Crisis Report, 12/22/2024. Not a long one, but there's actually a lot to consider here. So, of course, we are dealing with, late last night, there was the friendly fire F-18 thing over the Red Sea, which was bad. And, of course, now the Houthis are saying they did it, or at least were not so much they made it happen. It's kind of what they're saying. I'll get into it more. It's interesting. But yeah, that was bad. Bashir Assad is getting divorced. So Trump had a lot to say. He has come out and let's just say that the Monroe Doctrine is going to be made great again. There's an American-centric world that he is going to try and push. So we'll see what happens with it. We'll see how it goes. But Latin America, beware. Trump is coming, and he's got some Monroe Doctrine type of ideas coming with him. But, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on between Iran and Israel, but it's Cold War type stuff. But it could go hot. And that is kind of the problem. A lot of people in the echelons of the Israeli cabinet and defense mechanisms there are saying, you know what, enough of this Houthi BS, Gaza BS, Hezbollah BS, Syria BS, Iraq proxies BS. Let's just go after the main deal. And in our mind, it's Iran. And that's kind of what they're saying. So, hold on to your butts. It's getting talked about more and more openly, and that's it's not great. It's a problem. So hopefully you were over on the other stream of PrepperNow, of course, the original channel. Did a live stream over there tonight, and went well. Check that one out. That's we start with the drone thing because that's still in everybody's mind and it's still not really resolved. And then we talk about a lot of food issues going on, and there really are. There's a lot of people that are saying 2025, is going to have a lot of problems, and anybody thinking that things are going to get better or subside or they're kind of lying to themselves, I guess, unfortunately. So we're going to go through it all, as we always do. It's the most comprehensive news on YouTube, and we're going to tell you everything about it, and you just kind of make up your own mind on stuff, okay? I definitely have my beliefs. I definitely have my thoughts and concerns, but you know what? You're smart, and there's not a day that goes by on this channel where someone doesn't say something in the comments, an angle that I didn't see. So for that, I love you. Thank you. I've oftentimes said that I've got the smartest subscribers on YouTube, and I believe that. We have a little bit more of a intelligent conversation over here. We get into the details, we get into it, and we hear it all. If it's out there in a 24-hour cycle between one crisis report to the next, I'm going to find it, and I'm going to put it in there. And for those that don't know, I've got numerous little worker bees also in the background, like Texlahoma Girl, that are sending me all kinds of stuff all the time. So the crisis report is going to be thorough. And there's rare as it does it come out where I miss something, and rare does it happen where I'm not at least 12 to 18 hours before many of the other channels. So, and not because I'm trying to make you go to a grocery store and buy everything on aisle 7 to aisle 17. It's because I think it's important to have good information, and we're living in a very critical time right now, and there's a lot of problems going on all over the world, from Europe to Asia to Africa to South America to the Middle East. And I want to see it all. I want to cover it all. So, all right, friends, we are going to get started. I know this is a little bit later than usual. My apologies. I'm going to try and get it back like 10:30-ish, like I was Eastern. But we're going to go with it. I wanted to get a nice, strong live stream go over on PrepperNow. I had a little algo busting to do, and I think it worked. So, in my first rodeo on tube, so when I notice things going a certain way, sometimes you got to do your little tools in the toolbox, and we employed one of them, which is the doom stream method, and it seems to have worked. So, all right, friends, let's get started. This is 12/22/2024. This is your crisis report. Last night, Iran transferred 300 Russian-made missiles to the Houthis in Yemen. Intelligence sources claim that the missiles were transferred as part of an Iranian military assistance, with the aim of the launch being to distract the IDF from the Iranian front and direct attention to other threats. An official order was given to the Houthis to begin launching missiles in the coming weeks because Iran is currently working on a broad project. So, something is brewing between the Israelis and the Iranians, and you need to pay attention. Okay? Were Israel's Yemen strikes trial run for a major attack on Iran? Well, Middle East leading independent news sources saying yes, and that, of course, is in the description or in the crisis report. PrepperNow.substack.com. You can find all the links and everything in a full transcript of what will be stated tonight, so you can go and follow the rabbit hole on your own. You're smart. You can do what you will with it. U.S. military has struck targets of the Ansar Allah movement in Yemen. Israel did it, then America did it. Military targeted a missile arsenal depot and a Houthi command center in Sana'a. There is no information yet on the damage to the facilities or the number of casualties. According to eyewitnesses, ambulances arrived at the scene of the strikes. The Pentagon noted that the operation is designed to reduce the military potential of the Shiite group and disrupt attacks on U.S. Navy warships and merchant ships in the Red and Arabian Seas. Despite this, Houthis launched several kamikaze UAVs, anti-ship cruise missiles in the direction of the U.S. carrier strike group led by the Harry S. Truman in the Red Sea. Pentagon said that the threats were neutralized. Noteworthy was that while repelling the attack, the air defense systems of the guided missile cruiser USS Gettysburg, part of the AUG, mistakenly shot down a multi-purpose deck aircraft F-18, which participated in the strikes. So that's where basically the Yemen are saying they were the reason why that F-18 went down. And you know what? By proxy, they're kind of correct. English soldiers are quitting the armed forces at alarming rates despite a pay raise over the summer. First time on record, there are now just 2 servicemen or women per 1,000 people in Britain. And, of course, they get to choose whatever they want to be there. Some 15,119 left the armed forces in the year to October. Telegraph. Trump intends to withdraw the United States from the World H to the OOOO. First day in office. Khomeini claims that if Iran ever wants to do something, it will not need any proxies. The war rhetoric is rising, to say the least. Ukraine will face even greater destruction after the drone attacks on Kazan. Putin has said they were really aggravated at that. They hit residential towers, and yeah, there's going to be a response. What appears to be North Korean ballistic missile launchers spotted in Russia, likely the Pukguksong 2 KN-15 launchers, estimated range of 13 to 1,500 kilometers, possibly up to 2,000 kilometers. So you're talking about 1,300 miles. Low-quality footage makes it unclear if these are actual launchers or decoys. Libyan Grand Mufti Sheikh Sadiq al-Ghariani called on all Libyans to unite and kick the Russians out of Libya. They're setting up shop there now that they've been kicked out of Tartus and Latakia. Israel is warning the residents of the town of Al-Bath of the Quneitra Governorate to lay down their weapons within 2 hours. Everyone in the town is a civilian, and the town has been barely affected by the civil W in Syria. Winds of change? Well, the new government in Damascus did not permit an Iranian flight to pass through Syrian airspace, forcing it to divert through Turkey to land in Lebanon. So a lot of problems there. Minister of Defense, Southern Lebanon, said if Hezbollah does not withdraw beyond the Litani River, tries to violate the ceasefire, we will crush. It said, I crush your head. I crush your head. Deputy Commander of the Revolutionary Guards Intelligence Organization, 65 to 68% of the Iranian people think that Iran must respond with an attack on Israel, even if it leads to war, and we are prepared to do so. That rhetoric, again, is rising all over between these two countries. I think Iran goes, I think Iran thinks, this is what I think they think, okay? I think that they think that they think that they think Iran thinks that if they keep allowing things to happen, their proxies are going to get further destroyed because Israel has just rolled up the gloves and their sleeves, and they're going nuts. And if they are able to take out a lot of those proxies, which is kind of taking their attention away, that when they put their full attention on Iran, they're going to go freaking balls deep. And so I'm thinking that Iran is going, you know what, we better get prepared to preemptive or do it now while we still have fighting forces that are of a proxy type of style around us. Netanyahu says, as we have acted forcefully against the terror arms of Iran's evil axis, so will we act against the Houthis. The result will be the same result. Russia has seen a wave of attempted arson attacks targeting banks, shopping centers, post offices, and government buildings over the last 3 days, according to the media reports. Putin has vowed destruction, more destruction on Ukraine after the drone attack on Kazan. Trump knows better than to back Kurdish fighters in Syria, according to Hakan Fidan, the Turkish foreign minister. Donald Trump says under the Trump administration, it will be the official policy of the United States to their government that there are only two styles of human being, and we will leave it at that. Let's just say the bending is over, according to Mr. Trump. A woman in New York City subway car was killed early Sunday after another passenger set her on fire and then watched from a nearby bench in the Brooklyn station as she was burnt alive, police said. Now, here's the deal. I'm a former resident of Brooklyn, okay? I've been through most, if not all, of the stations in that fine burb. I have video of this on my Subscribestar and my locals. The guy literally just sits there, and you can watch the person have the terrible thing happen. And he just sits there, and he just, like he's watching a movie. It is surreal. And it is America 2024. So, to that lady, I don't know what happened, but no one deserves that kind of an end, because I'm sure she didn't do anything wrong. And this guy is beyond sick in the head. I mean, that is demonic, to say the least. Whew. Apple has warned iPhone users about mercenary spyware targeting high-profile individuals. These attacks often use spyware like Pegasus, which can steal data. Roger McKeon, thanks so much for being a member for so long, brother. Monitor communications and access cameras or microphones. So if you're an elitist and you're at a P. Diddy party, you might want to use a different phone. Trump has announced that one of his first actions as president will be signing an executive order to ban people that don't know who they are serving in the military. There was a time they had don't ask, don't tell. Everything was fine. I don't know why they changed it. Save us from having, dudes in high heels on top of aircraft carriers doing strange TikTok dances and other things I just really don't want to see and can't unsee. Why don't we just get back to a fighting force? What you do in your bedroom with whoever, however, whatever, just leave me out of it. I don't freaking care. Can you protect the country? Can you fire your weapon? Can you do all that is tasked to you to prevent us from, say, having problems? After that, if you want to go stick strange things in your backside, I don't care. Thank you for protecting us. Leave me out of it. Former Syrian President al-Bashir al-Assad's wife has filed for divorce, plans to move to the United Kingdom. She is from London originally. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas said child trafficking at the border is their responsibility. Or isn't their responsibility. Uh-oh. We back? Sorry, folks. I don't know. Yeah, just got bored. Sorry about that. I guess was a little unhappy. You got you got one of the hair people back there, all pissed off because I put an opinion out there. So anyway, yeah. So I don't know where it stopped off. We'll just keep going. This is all in the Crisis Report Substack if you want to see it. Clash report: after resolving diplomatic technical matters, Turkey is going to send military advisors to support the training of the new Syrian army at the military academies in Aleppo and Damascus. So Turkey is sending advisors to work with Syria. I have it on here, but I'm going to just preemptively say it. Aquila, who of course I really like, said, are we seeing the reformation of the Ottoman Empire? Yeah, someone knows their history, and it ain't good. Thousands of protesters have gathered in Belgrade in protest over Vucic's government and corruption. Are they in? Yeah, that's right. He's a satellite of the Soviet, or former Soviet, the Russians. So I guess we're ready for a little color, if you know what I mean, a little color going on there. We will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of the U.S., said Trump. He said, we will stop entering foreign wars. Your lips to God's ears, my friend, and enter in a ridiculous way. And he says he's going to stop the chaos in the Middle East, the Ukraine war, and, of course, the outbreak of WW to the 3. Again, I hope you knock all that out, brother. Trump says the United States will focus on defending its own borders after years of defending other countries. I like that. I like that a lot. I don't really care about Syria. So I know, all this stuff could happen. Yeah, I get it. Let's focus here. President of Panama responds to Trump, says every square meter of the canal and its area belongs to Panama, to which I've got a response from a tweet from Trump, but he did an AI image of an American flag poking out of the Panama Canal, so he's kind of giving the big middle finger. That's why I'm saying, make the Monroe Doctrine great again. Trump is really going... America runs the world, I guess. So here's this one on the overarching theme here of Iran being in trouble or something going on, okay? Iran is facing a severe energy crisis causing widespread power outages, industrial disruptions, economic strain. Years of sanctions, aging infrastructure, wasteful consumption have left the country struggling to function. Daily gas shortfall of 350 million cubic meters led to a power cut, 17 plants, others running partially. Schools, universities, government offices operate on reduced schedules while power outages disrupt daily life, affecting heating, traffic, systems, and internet-dependent activities. Manufacturing output has dropped by 30 to 50%, tens of billions in losses. Key sectors, including steel and construction, face halts or downsizing. The real has hit record lows. Private sector confidence has plummeted. Iran's regional influence is eroding after setbacks in Syria and Lebanon, while renewed U.S. pressure under Donald Trump could worsen the crisis. So, yeah. Whenever you have that stuff going on in a country where, like, say, a color something could change the government, I guess is what we'll call it. You take them to war. Yep. You take them to war because that'll really take their mind off things. So we'll see what happens. Netanyahu to Yemen. Houthis just reacted decisively against Iran's terror proxies. We will do the same with the Houthis. Tell you that even if it takes time, the result will be the same. Trump responded to Panama's president, says, we'll see about that. Simple man, simple words. Never knew the resurrection of the Ottoman Empire was on my bingo card for 2024. Absolutely correct, Aquila. Thank you. That was as succinct as you could put it. SNA getting incorporated in the Syrian new army. So, there you go. There are reports that the visit of Hakan Fidan to Damascus and meeting with Ahmed al-Shara has led to the significant agreement, including the dismantling of the Syrian National Army after the completion of the current Dawn of Freedom operation and the merger of the Syrian interim government with caretaker government. So they are retooling there. Turkey offered to take over the ISIS camps in an attempt to persuade the U.S. to end its support for the SDF earlier this year. Now Turkey is making a new proposal suggesting that a new Syrian administration could take responsibility for guarding those camps. It's almost as if the Turkish could use those people. Yeah. AfD party leader Alice Weidel has overtaken Friedrich Merz of the Christian Democrat Party as the most popular candidate for chancellor ahead of the upcoming elections in Germany, according to the latest poll by INSA. Not good. Elon Musk suspended the account of the Christmas market dude, Germany, and then he restored it again, but he deleted history and posts where he was supportive of Netanyahu, Israel, and the attacks on Islam. A lot of channels have reported this. A lot of people are not happy about it. Yeah. So, kind of bad, if you think about it. If you're going to just delete it all. Why would you go and select all that? That makes you look guilty as if you're doing someone's bidding. Fierce clash between the U.S., UK, Houthis, and Red Sea. U.S. lost a fighter jet. Yemeni armed forces announced the targeted the USS Harry S. Truman carrier strike group overnight operation that resulted in the failure of a joint American-British attack on Yemen and the friendly downing of an F-A-18 fighter jet. Operation was carried out with 8 cruise missiles, 17 kamikaze drones. The attack provoked panic amongst the U.S. Navy ships and fighter jets operators, pushing the USS Gettysburg to fire missiles at one of the F-18s that was defending them. Yemeni Houthi group has claimed that the downing of that U.S. F-18 fighter jet was from them. Operation was carried out with 8 cruise missiles, 17 drones, help of God Almighty, as they say. Shooting down F-18 aircraft destroyers were trying to confront Yemeni drones and missiles. Most of the enemy warplanes left Yemeni airspace, international waters in the Red Sea to defend the aircraft carrier while it was being targeted. Third, failure of the hostile attack on Yemen territory. And fourth, withdrawal of the aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman after being targeted from its previous location towards the northern Red Sea after being subjected to more than one attack by the missile force, naval forces, and the air force. It's brewing, folks. And as Medman says here, and also mimicked by Middle East Spectator, expect some major events in the Middle East in the lead up to January 20th, 2025, folks. You heard it here first. 149 people in the room and only 49 likes. Come on, friends. Feel free to get out and hit that like button and come on back in. We got more intel to get to. SMO, Germany is entering political chaos, expected to last until February 23rd, 2024. I think they mean 2025. Completion of the parliamentary elections. Battle is not just about the well-being of German citizens. One of the key issues is the agenda to support Ukraine. Different parties propose vastly different solutions. Russian army continues the offensive along the entire front line, and in the past 24 hours, several more villages have fallen under the firm control of the Russian armed forces. Moving on for the next report. Southern part of the village of Kamyansk, Ukrainian forces were able to take control of the further parts of the village at the same time the Russians reportedly made a breakthrough a few kilometers further east towards Novodenslivka in the direction of the Pokrovsk. The Russians are said to have conquered half of Pishan, according to Ukrainian sources. In the direction of the Oskil River, the Russians succeeded in capturing the village of Lozova, announced by the Russian Ministry of Defense. North of Kupiansk, geolocalized videos show that the Russians have expanded their bridgehead in Dvorochnya. The Russians are also advancing a few hundred meters in the direction of Malaya Loknya, or Kursk, taking Kruglen-Yokya under their control. See? I can speak Russian. Actually can't. I know a little bit of Korean, but they're all cuss words, so I'm not going to do that here. Germany agrees to Turkish demand that Kurdish militia groups in Syria must be disarmed. Following talks with Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan, Germany's Baerbock stresses Kurds must also live in security, warns against harming Syria's territorial integrity, any Turkish military action. 7 Chinese nationals tried to illegally enter Guam as the United States tested a missile. At least 4 of the people arrested December 10th to the 11th were found in the vicinity of a military installation. That's a bit of a problem. That's according to Reuters. Again, you can see here, you hit the link, you'll notice down when I do that. Oh, you can't see it, but it basically, here, watch this. And, oh, there's the link, it's live. Yep, that's the cool thing about the crisis report. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's statement said that Israel will act against the Houthis as it is against other arms of Iran's axis of evil, receiving widespread attention in numerous Arab media outlets. Mossad head David Barnea has recommended attacking Iran in response to the Houthi attack. This is a red alert. This is a red alert. Discussions held at the political top. Barnea said, we need to go head on. If we only attack the Houthis, it won't help. In the past 24 hours, a number of dramatic discussions have taken place at the security top. This is the recommendation of one of the most significant figures in the security establishment. I have talked here about when I see a post that kind of makes my hair stand on the back of my neck, that's the one right there. If Mossad is saying, you know what, we should just stop all this BS down south, up north, and just to our east, and let's take the gloves off and start jacking up some fools where we think the host body is, that, my friends, is something to pay attention to. Israeli political echelon estimates that Iran is under pressure from the possibility that Israel will soon carry out an attack against strategic sites in the country following disintegration of the resistance axis, dramatic weakening, proxies. Iranians, as recently emerged in discussions held at the political and security leadership, believe that Israel chose to agree to end the campaign in the north in order to focus on their direct concerns and exact a price from them. And therefore, as emerged in the discussions, the understanding in the discussions is that Iran is connecting 2, perhaps 3 things that happened recently. Eliminating the air defense systems in the Iranian skies is a way that paves the way for Israeli Air Force fighter jets, closing on a ceasefire agreement in Lebanon, election of Donald Trump, president, and because of all the above, the Iranians are holding dramatic consultations. Amir Sarfati said, we live in historic days and it's not over yet. The main strike is still ahead of us. So he's calling it, and he is not allowed to say such things unless he has approval of the Israeli government. Trust me. If Damascus has been conquered, the conquest of Jerusalem is also close. Devlet Bahçeli, head of MHP, Nationalist Movement Party in Turkey. Trump administration designated National Security Advisor Mike Waltz said, defeat of Iran and its proxies happened because of Bibi Netanyahu's leadership. What he did to Hezbollah with the Pagers attack, there's going to be an amazing movie about it one day. Hamas has no choice but one, to release our hostages if they want to live. Statement of Ansarullah is rather ambiguous, but at further examination, it seems to imply that they did not shoot down the Super Hornet themselves, but that it was shot down by U.S. forces due to the chaos that Ansarullah created. In any case, whether directly or indirectly, the operation of Yemen's Ansarullah led to the destruction of F-18 Super Hornet belonging to the U.S. Navy. U.S. intelligence estimates that Iran is preparing to carry out a significant strike against Israel before the inauguration of President Donald Trump. On the one hand, Iran's supreme leader has repeatedly stressed the need to retaliate for the Israeli attack on Iranian territory, which killed 4 air defense personnel back in October. In addition to this, the Iranian leadership reportedly considers the risk of another Israeli attack to be high, especially after the ceasefire in Lebanon. Israel has openly said it will take the battle to Iran. According to one high Come on, Tube. We back. Okay. All right. Yep. Greenland. He wants it back. Said statement comes. Absolute necessity for maintaining national security and freedom throughout the world. So he says the Panama Canal belongs to us. He put a post saying, "Welcome to the United States Canal" on X or Truth. He's also considering invading Mexico, at least in private, in a soft way, in order to combat drug cartels. Argentina has left a recession. Poverty reaches historic lows. Well, President Javier Milei has reached a new high, historical. 56.7% of Argentinians are happy with him because he's doing good work. It is what it is. Trump is discussing a soft invasion of Mexico with his team, according to Rolling Stone. And finally, to show you the state of our American government, Representative Kay Granger was found in a dementia care facility after being absent from her duties as a congresswoman. Yeah. Still sitting, Texas Congresswoman Granger has been missing votes in Washington, where she's been living in a $4,000 a month nursing home for the past 6 months. Kay Granger, 81, hasn't visited her boarded-up office for the last 6 months. And that, my friends, is why maybe some term limits like we have in other areas. So, all right, friends, that's your crisis report. God bless you. Hit that like button. Do all the things. You know what to do. Darken out the bell. Get the notifications. And come on back to for more. We'll be doing it again tomorrow. And thanks to all my members like Bad Bobber. Thanks to my mods like Mamacita and Texlahoma. I think I saw Scrappy here earlier. All you guys are awesome. I know it's late and you're here doing it for me. Thanks to all the people that have come. Hit that like button as you leave. If you like what we're doing here, please tell people about it. And yeah, Crisis Report keeps rolling. If you didn't check out the video on PrepperNow, go check that out. Nice live stream over there, a little doom stream. And of course, if you like what we're doing here and you want the crazy stuff like a video of a guy setting a lady on fire, which, you know, I mean, it's a terrible thing that happened, but it is our world. And so that is over on Subscribestar on Locals. You can join for $3 a month over there, where I get a lot of stuff as well. So that, my friends, is your Crisis Report, 12/22/2024. God bless, and we will see you on the next one.